Man, I haven't gotten a haircut in a while. Oh, that's normal. I haven't gotten a real haircut since about, I think, late January. Look at this. Check this out, right where my microphone is. See this? My hair is literally doing this. It's like a fucking water slide or something. It's all ridiculous. Look at this. I've combined this with this horrible case of helmet hair. So what I know this probably sounds stupid. So in addition to not wearing a helmet, because I used to take the train, I also actually used to, at some point, do my hair before I got on camera, and now I just kind of stopped caring. At some point, like a year and a half ago, I kind of stopped caring, and it turned into a mess again. In the beginning of these videos, I used to just not get a haircut because work was so busy that I would go 3 or 4 or 6 months without a haircut. So I had all of this hair, and it would just I would just toss hair gel or conditioner into it, and it would be like a dead rat was on my head. And I'm kind of happy that I got this buzz cut thing. Makes life a lot easier. Anyway, so what are we doing today? So I have a BBSHD here. I've actually got 2 of them that have a particular problem. Each of these have an interesting one. Also, Paul Daniels, yes, a participation trophy from Richard Stallman would be interesting. So let me just go over the problems that I've had with these BBSHDs. So what it'll do is something like this. It'll actually run. It'll be able to go 20 or 30 or up to 40 miles an hour just fine. However, when it first starts, you'll hear and then go ding, and it'll start spinning. But in the beginning, you'll hear and every now and then when it goes it'll just stall. Now, if it runs, when it does run, it spins and spins and spins forever. But when it doesn't run, you have to flip the motor controller off and on again and then try to start it again. So it doesn't start. So I figured we'd just kind of take it apart and try and figure out why it's doing that. And for those wondering, I'm not fixing a MacBook today. I don't know how to put this, and I know I'm going to disappoint a lot of people. I find fixing MacBooks to be horrifically boring. I started doing this in 2008. Even as long as 10 years later, in 2018, I was fucking live streaming fixing them until 1 or 2 in the morning, even when I was sick, because I needed to get done. And at some point, I just kind of I really don't care about fixing MacBooks on stream anymore. So I still want to be able to create helpful content, which is what I'm doing with the wiki. So if you take a look at wiki2.rossmangroup.com, I'm trying to come up with a better system to index all the knowledge that everybody here has. So when you go to wiki2.rossmangroup.com, you'll see that there is a bunch of knowledge that's really easy to dig through. It's in a please bro format. Machine is taking this much power and has this symptom, check this section. And I'm going to keep adding to that as time goes on. But I'm no longer using YouTube as primarily as a teaching platform because A, I have just kind of lost interest in doing those videos, and B, my actual audience has no interest in those videos, as the YouTube Studio app reminds me literally every time I log on. So every time I check the YouTube Studio app and click it, it just gives me a little reminder and goes, less people are watching this than usual. Less people care about this than usual. It's like, yeah, I know. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit. So I'm going to kind of go back to doing what I did in the beginning, which is just a video on what I want to do videos on. And I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe it'll be me playing a video game. Maybe it'll be me fixing a shitty motor. Maybe it'll be me trying to find my Allen key screwdrivers that fell out of my damn bag. But we'll see. Hey, I know 2020 has not been the greatest year, but you have your health, BlackBerry, Mr. Clinton, and Eric. Have a Merry Christmas. Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that, Joe. Yeah, I'm definitely... Anytime I have a complaint about how something went in life, one of the things... I always kind of feel bad about it because... shit could always be way, way, way worse. There are lots of people that have it way worse than I do. And I can't say that there's any much reason for me to be ungrateful for my lot in life. Okay, what I need to do now is figure out where the hell I put a fitting Allen key screwdriver. Because I may not... Let's see. Maybe I have an incomplete Allen key kit. I just need to find one that fits in there. Be right back. I promise I'll go over to reading your chat soon. I need to get some kind of Google Glass or something, so when I'm walking around the store looking at stuff, or to get stuff, that I would be able to read the chat. Because I can't do that when I'm here. By the time I get back there, I'm going to go back to doing whatever I was doing. Let's see. So I have some in my jacket pocket. Just got to find my jacket pocket. Where did I put this? Where did I put this? Get your streaming system in place for Steve or Paul so they can stream stuff. That's one of the problems is they hate it. Yeah, they fucking hate it. That's a big part of the issue there. They despise it, kind of. They tolerate it. Like, well, if I ask, hey, can you stream this? Hey, can you do a video on this? They'll accommodate me because I've accommodated them and I'm the business owner and all that. But they hate it. You gotta be. You can tell when someone enjoys it or doesn't, and you can see, like you have to kind of put a certain face on, a certain attitude on, and also there's an element to doing this on camera where people who know how to do their job right will start fucking things up when they do it on camera, and it's something that, yeah, it's just not something for everybody. Some people stream really well, some don't. Like, if you take a look at, let's say, STS Telecom Jason, he's really good at what he does. He's probably, he's better at fixing cell phones than I am, for sure. But the first time he did a stream, he was so nervous that something would screw up, and you can tell, and, it's kind of hard. Is Erica still going on about a fourth cat? No. I have 2 cats, Erica has 1, and I'm working on a giveaway for Oreo. It's now a bike tech mechanic channel, pretty much. The high-pitch thing is the controller trying to ascertain what it's dealing with. That's the thing. The sound is not coming from the controller. It's coming from the motor. And I have 2 of them now that do this. So I have 2 motors that do this stupid shit. So I want to figure out what it is. Because these things are not... here's the thing. The BBSHD will take a lot of crap that you throw at it. But for $700, it's not really... I don't find it to be that impressive. I find them to be a little too easy to break. Yeah, I think that it's a little too easy to kill these things. Again, come on, sometimes I'm using more power. However, I have killed quite a few of these motors using the stock controller that limits you to, I believe, 20 to 30 amps. I've killed these at 15 amps before, I shit you not. Yeah, I killed enough of these at a lower amperage, even when I was at a low gear. Because if I was trying to start up from scratch at a high gear, fine. But I've killed so many of these at lower gears. They changed the design recently. The gentleman at California E-Bike actually has a really cool part of his website where he goes over how they changed the pinion or something like that. And they made it a stronger pinion, which is pretty cool. But they did that kind of under the table. See. Because I was wondering, why are the pinions breaking so easy on the the rotors are breaking so easy on the 2018 ones, but they don't break on any of the 2020 ones. It's like, now I see. All right, so let's pop this shit out. I'm just gonna kind of explore around. To be clear, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Anybody who is expecting this to be a professional level at how-to video, just to be clear, I think that when it comes to MacBook repair, that I'm pretty damn good at what I do. And when it comes to motors or mechanical stuff, I'm a moron. So this is not. Do not mistake this for. Do not mistake this for an expert video. Do not mistake this for someone who knows what they're doing. I can barely even figure out how to get this thing out of here or off. So yeah, I'm pretty useless here. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just taking out the screws and kind of exploring the inside. That's pretty much the first thing I want to do. So the first thing I want to do is see how the fuck do I get this thing off. All right, it just slides out. All right, so this has a bunch of grease inside of it, and it has bearings. Now, I don't know what stuff matters and what stuff doesn't, so I'm going to kind of ask all of you. I'm just going to kind of explore this with all of you, and you guys can maybe tell me. So again, this is totally out of my depth here. I am at your mercy. Now, one thing I notice is that there's that little yellow shit around the bearings. Yet, on this side, it looks like there's yet less yellow shit. I'm kind of wondering how much that matters. So, like here, you can see there is... Let me get a pointer. I'll get my set of tweezers to use as a pointer. The problem with the motor is that it'll work when it works, but every now and then it'll stall, and you'll hear... and it won't start. So once it starts, I can get the thing to go 30 or 40 or more miles an hour and continue going, but in the beginning, it does a thing where it makes a very clear stalling noise, so then it doesn't go. You just hear, and then the controller won't want to make it go. So I'm just kind of trying to open it up and figure out what it is. So this Here you have some yellow shit, but there doesn't seem to be evenly applied. Like over there doesn't look like a lot of yellow shit. Or maybe there is, but maybe it's just kind of dried out or something. I don't know what the yellow shit is. Ugh, that smells like lithium grease. Oh my god, don't smell lithium. Okay, so what's this shit over here? There's some blue shit over here. So this spins. Let's see. This is a clutch. I imagine this is a clutch because it allows it to spin in the other direction without spinning the main wheel. So this is how it turns the motor. So this is turning the motor, and that's the clutch. All right, so this is a spinny thingy. I don't see anything with the spinny thingy. All right, so next up, I'm going to open up the other section of it. So we're just going to open up this whole thing, and again, I'm just trying to explore and see what it looks like on the inside. This here are the 3 wires. These are the 3 wires for the motor phases, and that's the thingy for the Hall sensors. And I put some caulk over there. I broke off some of the caulk so that I could take the Hall sensor wire out and remove the stuff. But that's where all the caulk was. So that's what that is. It's just a bunch of caulk, for those of you who are curious. And I'm going to open up the other side of the motor. See what we have here. All right, now on this side, it looks like we may have a different size screw than on the other side. Fuck you, Apple. I mean, Fang. Must be in the same fucking factory or something. You guys are kidding me. You really have a different size goddamn screw on the other side? I do need to get myself a new set of Allen keys. All the important ones have been misplaced or stolen. Mostly misplaced. Yeah, mostly misplaced or stolen. My other set. Need to get a set of screwdrivers that just with a GPS inside of each one. Make life much simpler. Let's see. These are sensored controllers, Paul Daniels, but you can run it in sensorless mode, and it does work pretty well. I don't know if the screw actually goes to anything. Yeah, that's the screw that doesn't matter. So we open it from this end. All right. Nothing like when you do this. Nothing like when you finally get the screw to move and you see a big pile of dust pop out. Just brought my Bafang home today, damn thing. Thank you, Grodin. Hopefully your Bafang works longer than mine. Okay, get this. What are you doing for Christmas? I don't know, Sonny. I'm probably gonna sleep for a good half of the day, watch a documentary or two, play some Dota, do some bookkeeping, schedule a lesson. Schedule a lesson for driving. I could fly down another state and then start kind of exploring. Okay. Now the hard part here is often getting this thing separated, especially if it's kind of stuck together. Especially with all the wires stuck together because of the caulking still there. You can open this shit up and see. This screw is still in, but this screw does not look like it goes anywhere. But just because I know someone's going to say to remove the screw, I'll remove the screw. Push into the screw when unscrewing it. That's what I'm doing. Okay, next up is separating this piece of shit. Come on. I should probably get rid of the caulking first. Yeah, I hate getting rid of the caulking. It's a pain in the ass. All right, let's rip off this caulk. So why do I have a rubber gasket when I don't even use the stock controller? That's so ridiculous. Get out of here. There's no point to a rubber gasket because there's nothing to close anymore. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. That's silly to even have that here. What is he fixing? If I have a feeling that since this is a live stream, if I answer it, someone else is going to ask in another 5 seconds. So you're welcome to rewind the video if you want to take a look. But this is, I can't really say the same, repeat the problem every 20 seconds, unfortunately. It'll cause me to lose my mind even more than when people ask what Linux distro I use. Speaking of what Linux distribution I use, I should be getting a CPU panic anytime soon. Any moment now. Should be getting a CPU panic. Get out of here, you cock. GTFO, cock. White cock is their cock, black cock is my cock. So my cock is the black cock, and their cock is the white cock. Douse it with rubbing alcohol. No, that's a myth. That doesn't make any damn bit of difference. That's an urban legend. If you want to make you feel better, I could put some on there, but it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. Temple OS. I'm going to start telling people I use Temple OS. It probably crashes less. Is there any difference between the two cocks? Well, there's a lot more black cock than white cock. So by quantity, there's way more of the black cocking here than the white cocking. Okay, got one of the cock rings out. See that little white piece encircling that? That's a cock ring. So I'm just trying to get rid of all the cock rings, and I'm trying to rip the cock rings off from the bottom, from the base. You want to rip the cock ring off right from the base. One of those wires could use some heat shrink here. This wire, luckily I think I have some heat shrink that I could put around that wire to replace its insulation. It's not a big deal. It's no big deal. So what you want to do is take a sharp flathead screwdriver and just stab the cock ring. You just stab it over and over again. Just make sure you don't stab yourself while stabbing the cock ring. Alright. Should come out pretty simply at this point. How are you all doing today, by the way? How's everybody in chat? This actually smells pretty good. That cock smells precious. How soon do you get your driver's license? I have no idea. I think I should probably take a class first and learn. For motorcycle with an electric one, I'm pretty sure I could pass a test on an electric bike almost immediately. I think I'd do a damn good... I think I'd be able to pass a test with an electric bike immediately. With one where I have to deal with the clutch and all that shit, probably not, because I'm not used to that. I'm used to having to navigate gears on a regular basis on my bike, and I'm used to... honestly, I kind of like it. I like using gears. It's kind of fun, you know. It makes you have to ride with your brain. I'm not... People always say it's, you know, it's kind of weird. You like riding with gears, and you like all the complexity that having gears and having to, you know, deal with having 2,000 or 3,000 watts on the road with other people that have, you know, 50,000 and 200,000 with their cars, but you don't like a clutch. It's just weird. Seems like an obsolete way of driving. But I think with an electric bike, I could probably pass the motorcycle test immediately if I went to take it. If I took a road test, I just need a motorcycle to actually bring there. All right, so now I really need to figure out how to pry this shit off. Now this is the part where it being mine and not a customer's is awesome. Because when it comes to customer stuff, I always have to worry and go all crazy and avoid scratching it. But when it belongs to me, I don't have to give a fuck. So I could take a flathead screwdriver and just do this. And it's so beautiful. I don't give a shit if I scratch it because it's mine. There's nobody to leave a 1-star review and go, why is this Mikey? So I can do this, do that. Take a look on the inside of the motor. Take a look at the windings. Take a look at the DC inboard. And the windings themselves look fine. The DC inboard itself looks fine. The nylon gear looks... all of this stuff actually looks fine. Which does beg the question of what the fuck is actually broken here. I really don't have any idea of what's actually broken here. Besides this little bit of wire over here, which I can cover with some heat shrink. I should probably do that now before I... Now, because I'm me, I probably don't have another controller that's out of the box. I'm just going to double check. That would actually suck, because that would mean I have to take all this crap onto the floor every time I want to check it. But I'm pretty sure I'm out of spare controllers. I have a controller on each one of these bikes. Pretty certain that I don't have a spare controller, and that is correct. I don't have a spare controller or test set up for the desk, which does suck. So if I want to test this, I will have to go on the floor like a moron. And mess with it that way. I was honestly hoping that I would open this thing and there'd be something that was very obviously burned. I really was excited to open this and see that something was very obvious. You know, it's immediately meets the eye. Oh, obviously it's this thing and not be some missing PM sleep S4L thing. Unfortunately, it does seem like this is going to be a missing PM sleep. This is not going to be something that is immediately recognizable or simple to resolve, which is kind of disappointing. I'm gonna look a little bit closer before I determine that to be the case. First things first, see if I can fit a little bit of heat shrink over that shitty wire. So we do this. Make that wire nice again. People who are salty about the election have arrived. And this one, it only has a tiny piece ripped, so I'm not going to heat shrink over the whole thing. I will heat shrink over a small portion of it. I was really... this seems to happen after a rain. So what I was hoping was, that I would open this, and I would see an area that's obviously rusted, or obviously liquid damaged or corroded, because this tends to happen after a snowstorm or after a rainstorm of some sort. Yeah, so I was really kind of hoping that it would be obvious. The setup wrong at startup. It needs to be in a different spot, but for some reason it isn't. Huh? It starts out as a fixed magnet at low speeds and then rotates at some at high speeds to be more efficient at higher speeds. I mean, it rotates, so yeah, it rotates more at higher speed. Yes. Yeah, it's that it is set up wrong at startup. It needs to be in a different spot, but for some reason it isn't. That was a long way to not tell me what's wrong with it. See, that would imply a controller issue, not a motor issue. Or a hall sensor issue, but the hall sensors here, I suppose they are. Actually, what I could do is a hall sensor test. When a phase 3 motor doesn't want to spin up, it's usually a... Actually, I can't do a hall sensor test because that requires fucking Windows. And I don't have Windows on here. I would have to take this to the front and plug it into the front computer in order to do a hall sensor test. Oh, that's hysterical. That's hysterical. Linux. What is Linux good for? Yeah, so to be able to do that part, I actually can't do that on camera, which is pretty stupid. I suppose I could end the stream. I'm not using... No, fuck that. I'm not driving myself nuts with wine and serial drivers. That's crazy. That would be nuts. So one of the things I could do a hall sensor test, but I would... actually, Yeah, I would have to find another wire. Do I have another wire here that I could plug into a phase runner? I don't want to unplug these wires that I have. That would be kind of a royal pain in the dick. Let's see. Do I have another one of those? Because I have it caulked into my other motors. I don't have a spare controller that I could use in the desk. Yeah, I'm not really set up as a bike shop. It's very anticlimactic. This will be a very anticlimactic video. I'm going to leave for 20 minutes and then tell you whether or not it passes the hall sensor test. That would be a shit video. You guys are used to shit videos by now from me though, right? It's been years of low quality. Come on, surely I've got another motor cable in here. Wow, I don't. Aha, here we go. This looks like it could be it. Yeah, this is it. All right, so I'm going to do... Did you break your BBSHD? Damn you, Kopaz! Yeah, yes, no shit. Read the title, mofo. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm gonna find a computer with Windows. I'm going to install on that computer the phase runner software. I'm going to perform a hall sensor test, and maybe I'll show you guys a picture of the results. But that's going to require that I end the stream, because I'm not going to be able to read chat, and the new people that show up are going to wonder why I'm not reading chat and think I'm an asshole. And so the way we were going to bypass that is by, how do I put this? Ending the stream. So I will see you all in a few. BRB. You should do a boot your computer, set it up to run Windows and Linux. You mean dual boot. And even in that case, I'd still kind of have to end it because I'd have to reboot anyway. I am not setting up a fucking virtual machine for a stream. Fuck that. That's insane. I'm going to walk to the front and use the other computer. See you in a few, all right?